Hey guys, welcome into another edition of Schlereth Slants, the divisional playoff round. I'd make an argument that this is probably the best round of football of the season. Great teams ready to roll. And I'm telling you what, we're going to start in Kansas City. Jacksonville's a real physical team. They can dominate the line of scrimmage. Here's the problem when you're playing the Chiefs. Chiefs don't care about running the ball. They're going to design screens. Andy Reid is as good as it gets, especially coming off a bye week. I think he's the best coach in the NFL during his tenure, coming off the bye week and winning. He does a remarkable job. If he's not the best, he's right there up there in the top 3 or 4. So I like the Kansas City Chiefs. They're as healthy as they've been. They've got, in my opinion, the league MVP in Mahomes. I just think they're going to be a tough team to beat in Arrowhead. I like the Chiefs. I think the spread is 8.5 or something like that. I'll take the Chiefs by double digits. It's just where I am right now with the Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, great run by Jacksonville. The fact that you won a playoff game, the fact that you took a culture that's been garbage for over a decade and turned that around. Tip of the cap to Doug Peterson, tip of the cap to Trevor Lawrence. But the playoff run has ended in Kansas City, my belief. Now, we flip it over to the Giants as they head to the Philadelphia Eagles. And here's the thing that interests me about this game. Like, the Eagles were the best team all season long. They're the number one team as far as sacking the quarterback. They have more sacks than any other team in the NFL. They're also led the league in 400-yard offensive outputs this season. So you've got one of the best defensive metrics and one of the best offensive metrics. So you were one of the best teams. Their quarterback didn't really play for the last month of the season. He had a shoulder injury, missed a couple of games. He played one game, I guess, in the last month of the season. So that concerns me a bit about Jalen Hurts, because offense is about rhythm and timing, and you've missed a lot of that rhythm and timing, and then you have to sit on a bye week after you really did play well in week 18. So that concerns me a little bit about them. Now, Wink Martindale has been historically the defensive coordinator of the New York Giants, a guy that loves to blitz and bring pressure and do all those things. I did a game a couple of years ago when Wink Martindale was the defensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens, and they were playing a prominent quarterback who had athleticism. And so I said to Wink, I go, in our pregame meetings, I said, Wink, and Wink's a buddy of mine, so we go talk freely about game plans and things of that nature. I said, so what's the key, to stopping this really good quarterback? And Wink said, well, believe it or not, I'm going to make the guy throw it 40 times this game. And I'm like, you're going to make him throw it 40 times? And I go, yeah. He's going to throw it 40 times. And if I can get him to throw it 40 times, we win this game. Well, how do you do it? Well, you stack the line of scrimmage. You play a 5 down front. You bring a safety up. And essentially, out of that, you bring pressure on rundowns. You get them behind the line of scrimmage, and you make the quarterback sit back in the pocket, a quarterback who's rusty, a quarterback who's coming off a shoulder injury. You make that guy throw them into a victory. And I think that's what the Giants are going to do. I think it'll be really interesting. Now, hey, understand, Jalen Hurts has done it. Like, Jalen Hurts has been awesome throwing the football, but he's been throwing it off their play action game, off their run game, off their quarterback design movement game. Can he stand in the pocket and beat you from the pocket? I think that has yet to be determined. And I think that the Giants are going to force them to do that. I still like Philly in this game, but I don't think this is a 26-point blowout like it was in week whatever it was when Philadelphia, I think, went to New York and beat them down. It's not the week 18 matchup either. I think this will be a close game. I think it's a 7.5-point spread by the Eagles. I got the Eagles winning, but I got the Giants covering that spread. So we move on. Cincinnati taking on the Buffalo Bills. Like, here's the deal. Joe Burrow, you have got to be able, if you're Cincinnati, you've got to be able to take the passive out of pass protection. You've got to be able to limit the amount of times that Joe Burrow drops back. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to set up all that play action stuff so that you can be effective in that. But that has to be the game plan. If you can do that, you got a chance to go into Buffalo as a visitor in crowd noise with a banged up offensive line and win a football game. But that's a tall order, but it can be done. But that comes down to more coaching than it does playing. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. I'll give the 4.5. I like Buffalo in that. And then the final game is the 49ers at the Cowboys. And I tell you what a remarkable, like, this to me is the best, closest matchup, because I think that both of these teams on paper are probably two of the most talented teams in football. Maybe, like, I can put the Eagles in there very easily too. I think the thing that makes San Francisco really tough is positional versatility. So you can line up in any personnel grouping you want, and you've got a bunch of different players that can play multiple positions. Why is that important? One, it makes everybody on the defensive side have to guess, what are you in? What are you running? Is George Kittle the Y tight end, the guy who lines up and blocks on the end of the line of scrimmage? Is he the F movement tight end, the guy you want to split out? Is their fullback Juszczyk playing fullback, or is he playing tight end, the F tight end? Like personnel groupings. Hey, we've got a running back that can play wide receiver in Christian McCaffrey. And, we got a wide receiver that can play running back in Deebo Samuel. Like, they create opportunities, and they basically say, okay, how are you going to match us? Oh, you're going to match us in bigs? Well, we're going to spread out and beat your butt throwing the football. Oh, you're going to match us in smalls? Well, we're going to condense and beat your butt running the football. And their run action and their run game, the way they marry that to their play action game, is probably the best in football. And I consult for a bunch of teams in the offseason, and there is not one team that I talk to, and I probably talked to 12 different teams. Not that I consult for 12, but I talked to 12 different teams. Every single team that I talked to, everyone, without exception, everyone was studying Kyle Shanahan and the San Francisco 49ers run game. Every single team. They're that good at creating mismatches, using motions and personnel, using shifts to get angles and to get the edge on a defense. They are great, and their play action marries perfectly to it. I'm telling you, I think this game has the potential of being the best game, potential upset, but I'm taking the Niners, and I'm giving the 3.5 for the Niners. So that said, those are my picks. Give me a comment down below. Like it. Let me know what you think of my picks and the way I'm going. And it keeps, by the way, my Super Bowl prediction before the deal started was Kansas City against San Francisco. So it keeps it alive. So I've got the Bills taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe that game will be in Atlanta for the AFC Championship. And I've got the Eagles. I've got San Francisco traveling to Philadelphia, taking on the Eagles for the NFC Championship. Those are my picks. Like I said, like it below. I want to hear your comments, want to hear what you guys have to say. And for me, that does it for Schlereth Slants for this week. Can't wait to see how it works out and talk to you guys next week. Man, have a great one. Enjoy the divisional round of the playoffs.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out our other videos, and don't forget to smack that subscribe button down below while you're at it. Also, for more great and original content, head right over to bvmsports.com.